Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody who has been aware that it has felt a little bit off, that you aren't speaking to them or you are angry at them. Maybe they're kind of discounting how much they played into that. But we have someone here who expects things to get resolved between the two of you without them having to exert much energy or do much on their own. So they may feel like you're always the one who reaches out to apologize, or you're always the one who wants to repair things, even if it goes several weeks or even a couple of months before you two can get back on that same page. So I feel like this is somebody who's like checking their phone and trying to see, like, have you messaged me yet? Like, why haven't you tried to make things better? So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. I think we will start today with, we're going to go with the Masonic Tarot. Do kind of feel like there might be some earth energy coming out, so I should let you know that with the Masonic Tarot, the mallets correlate to earth signs and gold correlates to like wands or fire energy. All right, what do we have? Page of Wands in the reverse, or the Knave of Gold. Devil in the reverse, King of Mallets in the reverse, and the Six of Gold, or Six of Wands. So I still feel like there is a possibility for us to have a successful relationship, or for me to like win you over, or have you, want to pursue things with me again. But as far as willingness to do what you are asking of them, it feels kind of limited. With the King of Mallets or King of Pentacles in the reverse, this is somebody who is asking you to settle as far as what you want in a relationship. They feel like they can still have a relationship with you even though they do not offer what you're asking. So I don't know, especially with the Devil in the reverse, this kind of feels like, this is somebody who doesn't want to see that they were responsible for this, that doesn't want to see that they've caused this argument or this inability to talk. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing? Thank you. What else do we have? Four of Cups or Four of Chalices in the reverse. This is like, there's no way you've like actually rejected me, is there? No. King of Wands in the reverse, or King of Gold in the reverse? No way. All right, hold on, guys. Emperor in the reverse, and the Six of Cups in the reverse. This is someone who's unwilling to change their ways. They're like, yeah, I'll be reasonably good, but I'm not going to make those changes, or I'm not going to act differently in this situation, or stop hanging out with those people. I think that if I am patient, you'll eventually come back around because you miss me. You'll put up with what I do. So Six of Cups in the reverse, I'm just going to keep on doing the things that I do. That could be anger issues. That could be not being loyal. That could be financial issues, controlling issues. King of Swords and the Two of Mallets, which is the Two of Pentacles. So you would be the King of Swords here. Remember, we don't pay too close attention to gender in the tarot, but I feel like you're working on building stability for yourself. This person's expecting you to come back around and see how to make things right between you. I'm not sure you're really focused on that. Seven of Mallets or Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't think you want to invest with this person anymore. excuse me. I think you've decided that this is someone who's too secretive, someone who is too interested in like moving in the shadows or not telling you everything that they're getting into or keeping their feelings to themselves. Nine of Swords in the reverse. Why aren't you making anything better? Why aren't you, texting me and asking me how I'm doing or letting me know that you miss me? That kind of thing. Hello, Hussein. How are you doing? Hello, Polar. Hello, Flower. How are you doing? Hello, Carrie. What's up? I hope you are as well. We've got the Five of Swords and the High Priest or the Hierophant in the reverse. I don't know, man. This is kind of frustrating because I feel this is somebody who likes to cause problems, start arguments, especially if it's like, I don't want to admit that you have a point or, you've asked something of me that's fairly reasonable, but then I'm like, I don't want to do it. This is someone who creates distance in order to manipulate or to get what they want, which is kind of what manipulation is, right? And they felt like after a little bit of time, after, a little bit of no contact, that you would be the one to come back around and say, hey, like, are we going to try to work this out or not? Like, have you really walked away? But you haven't done that yet. They're still waiting. They're like, is this thing on? Hello? Ace of Pentacles, Six of Cups. Yeah, so they may have even ghosted you, but this is a person who feels like you're always the one who comes back around with an apology or an attempt to repair things. They feel like that's just in your nature, but they're confused, wondering why at this point they still haven't heard from you. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse and the Hierophant. They're starting to wonder if you've met someone else. They're starting to wonder if you've changed your mind about them or if you've gotten to the point where you're just not willing to give them any more chances because it's been that much time that's passed. Yes, that would probably line up with this reading user. Hello, Negan. How are you doing? Thanks. Hello, Joel. What's up? This is a general reading, and I start personal questions at about 30 or 35 minutes in or after that general reading. So we've got the King of Cups in the reverse and the Fool with the Page of Cups. Okay. So this is someone who keeps expecting an apology from you, but you are focused elsewhere. I'm going to point out, this doesn't have to be like an ex of yours that expects you to want to be in a relationship again. This could also be a family member or a friendship that, it just didn't go very well because communication was off. And they keep expecting that you're going to prioritize this or that you'll be the one to initiate that process. So take it how it resonates, but this is somebody who's like checking their phone like, hey, why haven't you called me? Like normally by now you would have tried to like make things right or see how to start that conversation. So Seven of Wands, Ace of Swords in the reverse, Three of Cups. So even though I was the one that started it, I feel like by now you would have reached out. You haven't reached out, Ace of Swords in the reverse. So I have to start wondering, will we actually reconcile? Or are you like distracted? Is there somebody else that you're talking to that makes you feel like reaching out to me would just kind of be a waste of your time? Hello, Lila. How are you doing? So we've got the Sun and the Eight of Swords. I feel like you did everything you could. I feel like you verbalized what you needed to. I feel like you showed through your, reactions what you needed. I feel like some of you maybe even tried counseling or you wrote a letter. I don't know, maybe you like rented a plane and they did like the whole flag thing behind it or like smoke signals. You were like, hey, here's the problem. Here's why I can't trust you. Here's why this is always an argument. Right here, here's what you need to do. And this person was like, what? I can't see it. They didn't want to see it. They didn't want to understand what you were asking of them because they didn't want to do what you were asking of them. So probably left you feeling like your emotions or your needs were not valued or were invalidated. We've got the Queen of Cups and the Three of Wands in the reverse. They expected you to continue to love them or to continue to pursue them or want to be involved with them, even though they were unwilling to take action on the things that you brought to their attention. Okay. Sounds like they fumbled. Let's see what we've got from the Fairy Lenormand. Hello, my Y. How are you doing? Hey, Scummy. I hope work is going well. Hello, Bennett. How are you doing? You don't have to say what part, but just know that I love Germany. I went to Karlsruhe and I went to Berlin for a little bit. It was only like 36 hours or something. And Stuttgart, which was really awesome. All right, so we have the Scythe, which is number 10, and this, of course, talks about taking things that don't really work or fit with your life and acknowledging when things need to be probably resolved in terms of getting them out of your life, not resolved in terms of reconciliation. So I feel like for many of you, you were like, is it worth it for me to like continue to do backflips to try to get this person to do right by me? But they're not even trying to like do the most basic of things. Or maybe I should just like focus on new beginnings. Maybe I should let the past be the past. We have number 6, which is the Clouds. This talks about ambiguity or lack of clarity. And it's a lack of clarity around a decision. I feel like this is someone who can't figure out why you haven't called them. You've made the decision to not continue this cycle. You don't want to continue to chase somebody who's not willing to do the bare minimum for you. And they don't understand why. They're like, wait, this worked for a while. You used to chase me. Why don't you anymore? You know, like, do I have to like blow a whistle or something and then like it starts again and then we can play more games? You know? Oh, that's okay. My German is very limited and bad. I do know, das ist verboten. I'm trying to remember. This is so sad. I really did hang out on Duolingo for so long trying to learn German, and I don't remember a lot. Okay, so we have the 5 of Cups. This is the Waitsmith, by the way. The 5 of Cups, the Empress, and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, usually when we're stuck in the 5 of Cups and upset over a conversation or how things ended or, you know, we're mad at each other, your loving energy gets you to come back around and see if we can work things out. Why haven't you contacted me yet? Why, like, usually you don't make me wait this long. So they're wondering if there's other things you've got going on that would make them upset. Which could indicate we have somebody who's a little controlling, right? Yeah. Queen of Cups, Moon in the reverse. This is somebody who frames up controlling or manipulative ways as it's because I care about you or because I want you to be safe or because, you know, like I just feel better if I know you're okay. Look, it's real cool if you are, you know, interested in somebody being safe and secure and comfortable, but I feel like this is, I'm telling you it's that, maybe it's somewhat that, but mostly I feel like I deserve to know all of the information and know where you are all the time kind of thing. So we have the Devil in the reverse. So you're coming through as the Queen of Cups. King of Swords, Queen of Cups are the 2 energies that have come forward for you, which tells me that, yeah, you do have that loving, compassionate side, but if you're the King of Swords, especially with the Devil in the reverse, this is saying you are able to recognize patterns. You are able to understand that sometimes you have to be a little bit more logical when you make decisions regarding your romantic life. It can't always be emotional. Or that you have to sometimes be more logical when you're talking about how to deal with friendship or family, right? It isn't all just, how can I be the best person ever and be loving to you? Sometimes you have to have boundaries. So I do feel like you look at this argument or this distance between the two of you as something that probably needed to happen and isn't something you're in a rush to end, because you want to make sure that people that are in your inner circle are approaching you in the right way. So with the Nine of Cups, it's kind of like, I don't know, I don't really mind the silence because I don't have to like try to figure out what you're trying to say or whether or not I can trust you, you know? It's a lot less complicated. All right, this is the Graffiti Tarot. Hello, Layla. How are you doing? Hello, Gnostic. What's up? What else do we have? The Emperor in the reverse again. The Three of Cups. The King of Pentacles in the reverse. So those are both cards that came out for this person who's waiting for you to reach out. Someone who didn't offer what they could have or should have, but instead did show you very kind of like controlling energy, right? Someone who wanted to know that they could kind of manipulate the situation or manipulate you. Until a decision was made with the Justice card, I feel like this is when you were like, what if this time I didn't come back around? What if this time I didn't make it real easy? What if this time I just decided, okay, that's enough. I think I'm good. Two of Pentacles and Justice. Both of these can be about weighing pros and cons. Looking at a situation for what it is as opposed to, maybe with rose-colored glasses. Like, okay, so let me get this straight. I do all of this to try to make sure that this connection goes well. Try to be patient, flexible as far as like needing to reschedule things, or I talk about my feelings. But when I look at what this person's willing to do, it's like, I won't sneeze in your direction. Oh gosh, thanks. That's very kind of you. They aren't willing to be as accommodating or considerate, right? Nine of Cups. So you started thinking about, what is it that I really want? I don't think it's that. Because it kind of feels like I'm just dealing with somebody who wants what they want and they don't really care what I want. Like, can this person celebrate your birthday and actually make you feel like loved? Can this person see you get a promotion or a raise and support you? Celebrate with you, right? Is this somebody who is there when they say they're going to be? So we have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Tower in the reverse. You started to see this person differently. You started to see them less as what you wanted them to be and more as what they really are. And you were like, okay, I can't lie to myself anymore. So if I don't want to be with somebody who treats me like this and they don't want to change their behavior, then I need to just like remove myself from the situation. And hey, thank you for making it easy by deciding that you didn't want to talk to me. Maybe that's for the best, you know? Hello, Mohammed. How are you doing? Hello, Teresa. Hello, Low Country. I hope you're having a good day. Oh, happy belated birthday. You're going to have a good year. But yeah, some people really struggle with that, right? Oh, today is important for you. Maybe you got an interview. Maybe you've got, a really important letter showing up in the mail. Whatever it is, it's like, are they there to consistently, maybe not every time, but consistently show up for you in a way that is at least close to commensurate with what you do? If you're the one who's always giving, you're the one who's always trying to make things right, then why? Just get like a volleyball. Like the dude in Castaway. Sorry. That's probably not a realistic replacement, okay, you guys? But This person is about as engaging as Wilson the volleyball. Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. So you're like, why am I doing this? Page of Wands can be about like reassessing a situation. Think about it like when you're doing remodeling work, you're supposed to measure twice, cut once, right? This is you looking at the situation or this person that you've been dealing with, and you're like, this pretty nice. Like, I don't really like this person. Why keep trying to somebody who's just kind of like trying to not make a gesture? Because I think YouTube would not take kindly to it. But like, why do I keep trying to make this work when there's other things I could be putting my energy into and probably other people that I could be connecting with? So this King of Wands is like, I think I might check out what else I should be doing with my time. So King of Wands, King of Swords, Queen of Cups is the energy that I see for the person that I'm reading that has someone from your past waiting for you to make things better again, to make amends, even though they're the one that caused the problem to begin with. And probably multiple times. This isn't just like a one time I messed up and, oops. We have the Six of Cups and the Five of Wands in the reverse. Introspection over a relationship that you have had for a while. Somebody that you've known for, I would say, at least a couple of years. Maybe in some cases, this was, a whirlwind romance over, a year or something. But you knew this person quite well. They knew you, and they felt like they could manipulate you. All right. Let's see what else we get. This is the Situations deck. What else do we have? Hello, is it Paviata? How are you doing? Hello, Mega. What else do we have? We have karmic, third party, relationship lesson, and drastic, extreme, harsh cutoff. So if your reaction to arguments or like possible accountability is to ghost or run away because you don't want to deal with that request for changed behavior, then maybe I'm just going to let your harsh ghosting be the end of that connection. Why should I keep chasing that? Thank you. May I have another? So we have access granted, social media, fake profile, hiding. And past happened. So instead of talking to you directly, if this person has access to your social media, that's how they're getting their like addiction to you satisfied, or how they're getting insight into your life. However limited that might be, they still feel like they have some little like glimpse into your life and what you want. What else? So there's a concern on the behalf of the Emperor in the reverse, the person who's waiting for you to make things right. They feel like you were in a difficult spot financially, or they felt like you weren't really capable of going off on your own. Maybe it's more so like emotionally, but they did, for some reason, they looked at it like you wouldn't just ignore me or stop chasing me because you don't have like a whole group of people that you trust. I'm pretty dang important, right? They're like, you have an inner circle, but it's pretty small. So therefore, you will tolerate my not being very good to you. That's a lame way to look at it. Divine Feminine and entrapment. So they felt like they could leverage the fact that you're compassionate and or reliable. Something to do with maybe even feeling like you would need them for financial assistance. Yeah, I think they've underestimated your ability to move forward. Thank you, Flower. I had a dream. What is the big decision Thomas took? Big decision Thomas took. And keep feeling him and I bumped into him. How to just center myself back. How to center myself. I just want to feel secure and heal. Aw, I got you. I've written that down. Thank you for the tip, Flower. You're the first one on the list, by the way, and we're at 25 minutes, so it shouldn't be too much longer before I start. Oh, is that Redbeard promising to behave? That's funny. I feel like I missed saying hello. Hello, Carl. Hello, Wendy. How are you doing? Hello, Lisa Marie. All right, let's see what else we've got. We're going to go with the Earth and Bones Oracle. Sorry, Earth and Bones Tarot. I have the Earth and Bone Oracle and the Earth and Bones Tarot, so sometimes I mix them up, okay? All right, what else do we have? The Devil in the reverse, the Seven of Petals or Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, which we did just have. The Ten of Petals and the Knight of Jars or Knight of Cups in the reverse. So here's the thing. They expected you to be so focused on getting that long-term relationship that you would be willing to sacrifice on some of the things that you want. It's kind of like when you're looking for a house, you might have like 10 things that you're looking for, but if something is close to perfect, they got 9 out of 10, you're probably going to be interested, right? This is someone who was like, if I'm not like exactly what you asked me to be, you're still going to be like interested, right? I don't have to put in all of that effort, right? That's just so much work. I don't want to do all that work. So the Knight of Cups is in the reverse because this is somebody who would make promises and not feel bad if they didn't follow through on those promises. Scamming, are you talking to Redbeard? I thought you're not talking about me. I'm good. Hello, Aviza. If I were cool, would I say Ibiza? Is that how I'm supposed to say it? So we've got Temperance in the reverse. This argument, this tension, it's just wafting. It's just like a smoke in the room. This person's getting unsettled by the fact that so much time has passed, starting to question if things are really over. Did they really mess it up this time? Queen of Crystals in the reverse would be like the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Like, how mad are you if you haven't talked to me yet? You always come back around and try to make sure that we're okay. So this time around, you must be actually really mad. And I'm wondering who it is that you're spending time with, since you clearly aren't spending time with me. Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing? Oh, that's fun. You just said to Raven. Is it a hawk or is it a... Nope, I don't think it's a raven. I don't know. I'm not a bird watcher. I'm a bird watcher. Is that a girl watcher or a bird watcher, you guys? I might have just changed that. I think it's actually girl watcher. That's creepy. 9 of Petals or 9 of Pentacles in the reverse and the Tower in the reverse make me feel like this person expected you to be codependent on them. I need you for emotional, like, validation, or I don't like to go off on my own, or I don't want to make all of these changes, or I don't want to start over again. They felt like these were reasons why you wouldn't let things stay in no contact. Remember, if it's not romantic, don't take that into your situation. I feel like for the majority of you, it is an ex. But for some of you, this is a friend who's like, well, you're not going to find like a better friend. So like, I don't have to change, right? Hello, Norma. How are you doing? So we've got the World, the 10 of Wicks, the Ace of Wicks, which would be the Wands, by the way, and Justice in the reverse. They didn't expect you to make a decision. They didn't expect you to walk away or be okay with things being in no contact. But you're out here like, I don't know, there's like other people to meet, other things to do. I don't think I really need to be like settling for someone who doesn't seem to be that interested anyways. Like if you're that upset or if you're that disinterested in reconnecting and you just want to start fights all the time, then maybe I'll just like save myself the time. All right, let's switch over to personal readings. We've got flowers. So what is the big decision that Thomas made? What is the big decision that Thomas made? Three of Wands in the reverse. Seven of Swords. Queen of Pentacles. King of Swords. This feels to me like the decision is the decision to keep something secret or hidden. Is this about, I feel like it's like a comparison. Is this like a comparison? Yeah, Knight of Cups. Eight of Wands. Is this about a romantic like rivalry? Yes. So this feels to me like we've got someone who is interested in Thomas, or Thomas is flirting or connecting to a new person. And as this gets like more serious, there is this desire to keep the fact that there's still an interest in you from the person that he's getting to know. So it's like, I'm going to get to know this person. I'm going to see like where it goes. I'm not going to tell them that I'm still in love with someone else, or I'm still like hoping that something can get back together. Or I'm still maybe even just like, you know, upset about that. So I'm really not in a place to be in a relationship. This is like, I've decided to keep secret that this is what I want. So kind of feels like we've got, pretending to want something serious, knowing that it's not really what he wants. Yeah. So Five of Swords is like sabotaging energy. If I were to hear from Flower, I would end the new thing. Like it's just like a placeholder. So what can Flower do to center herself? Six of Swords in the reverse. Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Tower in the reverse. I feel like there is something that you can do, either learning more about your culture or your family background, or something that helps you to feel connected to other people. So what I saw in my mind was like recently I don't know, like in the last month, discovered the Who Do You Think You Are shows where they look into people's family tree. I don't know if there's anything that would be of interest to you in terms of looking into history like that, or, you know, like I had an obsession, I don't know, I could probably say I still do, with the Tudors in England. Just, you know, Elizabeth I fascinated me, and so did King Henry VIII, even though he had a little bit of a temperament issue. Total King of Wands. Probably in the reverse. But this is basically saying there's something here. It could be as simple as a puzzle, right? Something that helps you to feel connected or think about the depth or the perspective of things, right? Okay. So anything else for Flower? We've got the Nine of Wands and the Five of Cups in the reverse, Seven of Pentacles. If there are things that you have to do in a slower timeline, or if there are things that you need to cancel or not do, then go ahead and do that. But we've got someone who may have a tendency to do a little bit too much or sign up for too much. So make sure that you're taking a little bit of breaks or time for yourself as well. Hello, Norma. Hello, Charlie. How are we doing? All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. And if you can hype the video, I appreciate that as well.